Homesteading requires chores, and I'm proud to say I can chore like a girl. And in this video, I will share our top 10 best tips for doing winter chores. And you'll definitely want to stick around to the end to hear an actual physics professor take on a couple natural ways to keep your water from freezing. It's 25 degrees out. I can feel the wind through my jacket. I'm not old enough to drive, and I don't own my own land. But please don't say I'm just a girl. See the block of ice in our chicken pen? That's rock solid frozen H2O. And look, Ma, no gloves. These chickens belong to us. We bought them, made their house, designed and built the chicken tractors. We bred for these colors. They depend on us, we depend on them. These beautiful Nigerian dwarf goats also belong to us. And yeah, they depend on us too. And the 3 dozen ducks and 3 cows also need weekend help too, so let's get after it, ladies. If you're new here, welcome. My sisters and I made lots of videos, 90 to be exact, to help our friends better understand their farm animals. We've also made lots of DIY videos to help make homesteading easier. We own all the chickens and goats on this property, and we take care of the other farm animals in exchange for free goat and chicken feed. I wrote this story challenging you to be the best homesteader you can be.
It's my business, ladies, and business is good.
Because, yes, I really can chore like a girl. Even in this. And we've got some great winter tips in this video. So here is our Saturday chicken chores in a nutshell. First, we're going to go in here and we're going to clean out any chicken manure and old bedding, and we're going to take it around here to our composting pile. We're just going to throw all of that on top of the snow, because the snow will melt eventually. It'll be fine. This compost will be great for the garden, and you can learn more about this in our upcoming vision board and Shed Wars 2021 videos. Hit the subscribe button and notification button so you don't miss our full story. Then we're going to go over to the area where we keep our hay and rake up all the hay that the cows and goats did not want and put it in here for the chickens. Then we'll roll out a clean, fresh new bale for the goats and cows. Tip number 1. Use round bales. Now, this is going to sound really crazy, but even though square bales are much easier to move, we don't like putting a new bale out every single day. It's just too cold to move them all winter. So we decided that it's easier to have a round bale out for 1 week than have to carry a square bale out every single day. Now, we still do have like 30 different square bales there, but this is just easier. Tip number 2. Branches for goats. With all the snow on the ground, we bring the branches to the goats. We alternate between the maple branches in the background and pine trees. The goats will eat the buds and skin the bark. For the pine trees, however, the goats will just eat everything. Tip number 3. Cake holder. Before I tell you about that, let me tell you about this pallet though. We put this pallet up here so that the goats don't jump up and poop on it. After a while, the cows will move the pallet so that they can get to the rest of the hay, but that won't be for a while. This is the cake holder. We had an Amish welder make this for us. It's lightweight and powder coated. This will help the cows from eating too much hay, and therefore it saves big time on hay loss. They don't pull out the hay as much. It's just really helpful all the way around. And that's how we roll. Tip number 4. 1 cow's trash is another hen's treasure. If you give your chickens the cow manure, they'll love it. Tip number 5 is similar. What the chickens can't use goes to compost. Like I said, we rake up the old cow hay and goat hay, and we put it in with the chickens. They rake that up. After a while, it goes in the compost. If it's something that the chickens won't be able to rake up and to use, it goes to the compost immediately. Tip number 6. A dry chicken is a happy chicken. We put fresh, dry hay inside of their nesting boxes, and we also put a pallet on top of the cow waste. They like the pallet edges for roosting also, but they prefer their mod. But like I was saying, they prefer their nesting boxes. Tip number 7. Ducks like to be dry too. We took this bin of hay here to the ducks, and we put all of this fresh hay in the ducks' house as well. They really do enjoy being dry, but not nearly as much as they enjoy eating food. The last 3 tips in this video is not just our opinion, but rather science as verified by one of our subscribers, who happens to be a university physics professor. So if you're hoping to keep your water liquid, as opposed to solid ice, these last 3 tips are for you. Tip number 8. Go deep or go back. Even though water freezes at the top, you know fish live underneath. People have come to believe that water gets cold on the top and just freezes, but that's not true. What really happens is the water on the top gets cold, and therefore the molecules compact, and it becomes more dense and sinks, and is replaced with the warmer water that was previously beneath it. Once it freezes, it floats back to the top as ice, because the ice is less dense than the water. What's my point? The deeper your water dish is, the more time it will take to freeze at 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. Tip number 9. Tropics don't freeze, and azeotropic mixtures freeze at lower temperatures. I don't know if I said it right, but it's why people throw salt on roads and sidewalks in the wintertime. According to our professor, water needs to release energy in order for the molecules to get close enough to crystallize. When there are other ions in the water, it requires even lower temperatures to give up enough energy. You could even add salt water, but don't go adding too much salt to your water. Salt water will just make your animals even more thirsty, and too much can actually hurt them. So we recommend wine or vinegar, which is perfect for us since we live on a vineyard and our parents make vinegar. We're pretty sure that vinegar is cheaper than wine, but either way can work to lower the freezing point and provide some additional flavor and nutrients. Win-win. But how much can vinegar lower the freezing point? Well, vinegar itself is already mostly water and about 5% acidic acid. The concentration depresses the freezing point by about 2 degrees Celsius or 28 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, although animals can drink household vinegar, they probably wouldn't like it very much, but a mixture could reduce the water freezing point easily by a degree or 2. That doesn't seem like a big deal, but trust me, when it's 30 degrees out and snowing, you'll be glad that the water bowl is wet. Tip number 10. The salt water bottle trick. So if you can't put the salt in the water, put the salt water in a water bottle and put the salty water bottle in your water container.
So if you can't put the salt in the water, put the salt water in a water bottle and put the salty water bottle in your water container.
Has anyone ever said the word salt and water that many times? We first saw this in a video by Greenacre Birds, and we thought it was a really great idea. We subscribed to Greenacre Birds, and we really enjoy Hank's videos, and when we saw this, we immediately gave it a try, and it looked to us to make a difference. Then we saw another video claiming it doesn't work, so we contacted the professor, and the professor's verdict was maybe. What? Where's the science in that? Apparently, fruit farmers spray water on blossoms in springtime, when the temperature drops to below 30 to 31 degrees. And as we discussed, the water droplets give off heat as they become ice crystals, and that heat is enough to keep the blossoms from freezing in this temperature range. Can you even imagine farmers watering their trees at 31 degrees Fahrenheit? Really, farmers use sprayers, but we thought this would be more fun. So in theory, if you depress the salt water with just the right amount of salt so that it is freezing in the range of 30 to 31 degrees Fahrenheit, it might give off enough heat to remelt the ice as the non-salt water is beginning to freeze at 32 degrees. And he thought that this would work best if you kept the water bottle standing, so it could get colder than the surrounding water. So we thought this could be fun to try out. Can you keep water unfrozen at 31 degrees Fahrenheit? How about 30 degrees Fahrenheit? We're thinking it would be fun to see who can naturally keep their water liquid as low as 30 degrees. If so, we're thinking it would be really awesome to post those videos with hashtag 30degreewater. Let us know in the comments section if you like this idea. And if enough people are up to the challenge, game on!
Hi, we're the Vineyard Chicks and we would like to thank you for watching. Don't forget we love comments, and if you haven't, please subscribe. Thank you.
So if you can't put the salt in the water, put the salt water in a water bottle and put the salty water bottle in your water container.